Hello Internet Allies, hope you're all feeling super. So, I know I did like a review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 the other week, and about this time last year I did a list of my top 5 favourite Marvel superheroes. So I thought that it was now time to do my top 5 favourite Marvel movies. Yeah. Now this can be like movies both from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and also like from the X-Men franchise and like just any Marvel movie ever basically. So yeah, and these are just my favourite 5 and I'll just talk about why I like them basically. So here we go! Yeah! So I just want you guys to bear in mind that like this list is just purely my choice and purely my opinion. So yeah, so if you do have like different favourites to mine, then that's absolutely fine. Like, and yeah, I am sorry if like your favourite movie doesn't make this list. In my Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review, I did mention how Guardians of the Galaxy was my favourite ever Marvel movie. And this still holds true, I think. So yeah, so this is definitely my favourite Marvel movie. I just think it's just one of the most like fun Marvel movies out there, and I feel like that's what superhero movies are like supposed to be about. They're just supposed to be like a bit of fun and a bit of escape from reality and stuff like that. You know, all the characters are super fun, super likeable. You know, you always smile when they're on the screen and everything and stuff like that. You know, it's a good film that you have a good time to. So I think what's great about Guardians of the Galaxy is that like they weren't the most well known or most popular comic book characters before this movie came out. So I suppose, you know, in a way this sort of movie sort of introduced a lot of people to the Guardians of the Galaxy and got more to like them and stuff like that. And like I just love how like each character has their own like unique quirks. Like I just love how like unusual the sort of like film's concept is, the characters are, and also even the soundtrack. Like it's all stuff that like probably on paper wouldn't really work, but like it really does with this movie, I feel. So there's a lot of fun moments in this movie and there's a lot of endearing moments, and I feel like, you know, these characters are like probably some of the most likeable Marvel characters in the MCU basically. Like, you know, Groot's just really sort of like, you know, kind and, you know, he always means well and stuff like that. And then you have like Star-Lord, who's like this kind of cool like person who likes to dance to music all the time and everything. And you have like the more serious characters like Gamora and Drax, but still they're sort of like quite like, you know, likeable. You know, they're still quite quirky and stuff like that, like because, you know, they're not used to working well with people basically. And Rocket's sort of like, you know, the kind of person who just wants to do what he wants and stuff like that, like, and you know, has like all these great one-liners as well. So yeah, that's why I like Guardians of the Galaxy. So moving on to my next favourite Marvel movie, Avengers, or Avengers Assemble as it was called in the UK. I suppose what I love about this movie is that it like brings like loads of some of the most popular Marvel characters together in this movie, and you know, gets them all to work together in a really like entertaining and engaging movie. And you know, you get to see like all these sort of like personality clashes within the team and everything, but then they have to like kind of put that all aside to like work together and basically save the world. Loki's also my favourite Marvel villain ever, so you know, and he's absolutely brilliant in this movie. You know, he's kind of like on the hunt for power and everything, and like all the Avengers have to like kind of stop him, and like all of them have like sort of like slightly different views on Loki, and like Loki kind of affects them all in like different ways. It's a really clever movie and it's really, really well done. And also what I love about Avengers Assemble is that like, I feel like after this movie came out, like I feel like Marvel and superheroes in general kind of got a bit more like mainstream. Like, you know, it was like okay for like people who weren't like necessarily into like comic books or action movies or superhero movies to basically like these kind of movies and stuff like that. Like, I mean, it was always okay anyway, but like I feel like they got a lot more popular because of this movie. So good job, guys. So my next 2 favourite Marvel movies, and I can't really decide which order, like which one I like the best, so I'm just going to say I like them both the same, are X-Men Days of Future Past and Captain America the Winter Soldier. So what I love about X-Men Days of Future Past is that it brings like the old cast and a new cast together to help like stop like these super overpowered killer robots called the Sentinels from ever existing by like getting Wolverine to go back in time and basically team up with the younger versions of Professor X and Magneto to basically stop these killer robots from ever existing. And so yeah, it's really good. Like, the actors play off really well with each other and stuff like that. It's really great, really entertaining, really memorable, and they also introduce some new mutants as well. And the Quicksilver scene in this movie is probably one of my favourite ever Marvel scenes in any Marvel movie, to be honest. And I love that, like, how that immediately puts him like as a sort of fan favourite, because Quicksilver's also kind of like nerdy sort of thing, you know. He kind of likes all this like 80s music, and you know, likes all these like retro arcade video games and stuff like that. It's a shame we don't see more of him in this movie. This movie also makes me feel like quite nostalgic seeing the old cast back. I also like how this kind of puts like a more vulnerable side to like the more dominant characters in the X-Men franchise, such as like Wolverine, Professor X, Mystique, etc. And yeah, like, I do like the whole like time travel thing and stuff like that, even though it can be a little bit confusing now. So Captain America the Winter Soldier is my favourite Marvel movie that focuses on a single superhero, if you like. I like that, like, this kind of shows how like Captain America settles into like modern day life, as well as this movie being about like friendship and trust, and shows who Captain America can trust and be friends with and stuff like that. I feel like Captain America and Black Widow, Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson work very well together on screen, and I've got to be honest, I think like Captain America and Black Widow would probably make quite a good couple, even though like they do end up with other people like in future movies. I do feel like this coupling would make a lot more sense. I mean, okay, I know that like, you know, probably in the comic books there's a lot more depth to all the characters, but yeah, I suppose for the movies, you know, and it's got like all your favourite like Shield-esque characters from like the Avengers movie. It has quite a good cast, and like, you know, you kind of think, yay, these guys are actually good guys and everything and stuff like that. And it's great to see like you know, who the Winter Soldier actually is, and like how he relates to Captain America, and how like Captain America's past comes back to haunt him. You know, it kind of shows like how compassionate and caring and like loyal Captain America is to people, basically. It is to like people he can trust, basically, which is great. So yeah, so it makes Captain America really likeable and stuff, so yeah. So like my fifth favourite Marvel film is the first Iron Man movie. It's like really fun. Like, Robert Downey Jr. is brilliant as Iron Man, you know, he's really charismatic. I like how this kind of movie sort of isn't like a traditional superhero movie where like the superhero has like a secret identity and everything. Like, you know, Iron Man doesn't really care about the rules, like, you know, he kind of likes to do what he wants and stuff like that, you know, and, you know, nothing's going to stop him from doing that. And, you know, I also like how, like, in some parts of the movie, like, you know, the odds are really stacked up against him, but like Iron Man doesn't ever give up. Basically, you know, he always finds a way to get out of that situation that he's in. Also, I think this is probably like my favourite like of the Marvel superhero origin stories, is because like you kind of get to see like Iron Man like train up like in his like Iron Man suit sort of thing, like get used to like flying and everything and stuff like that, and that's really like entertaining because like he crashes into cars and everything and stuff like that. So you know, and it kind of shows that like, you know, superheroes aren't all perfect and godly like at first and everything and stuff like that. Like, you know, they are just people too, basically. Even though Tony Stark is super rich and super clever. That always helps. So I think this is definitely my favourite appearance from Iron Man, and it's definitely his most fun appearance as well. And I do like the whole like breaking traditional superhero rules and everything and stuff like that. So I know this is supposed to be a top 5 list, but I do have a couple of honourable mentions as well. And these two honourable mentions are here because of similar reasons, and those two films are Deadpool and Ant-Man. So the reason I like these two films is because they are different from like your traditional sort of like superhero origin story, and like I just like how they both like poke fun at like, you know, poke fun at like the whole superhero movie like genre and stuff like that, and you know, poke fun at like Marvel and poke fun at like previous movies as well. So yeah, so that's why I like these two movies as well. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know what your favourite Marvel movies are. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and a share, and for more superhero themed videos from me, click on the subscribe button down below, please. Yeah, I hope you're all having a fabulous day, and until next time, Team Love blasting off again. Bye bye!